Excuse me for a minute. What's up, guys? What's up, everyone? So, if you read the title, you know what I'm gonna do. I want to forewarn you. I'm not thinking this episode or this live will get much views, which is fine. I mean, I'm not necessarily doing this for the views. I'm just doing it to express my opinions, right? I want to express my opinions. That's what I'm doing. So be warned, right? Be forewarned. So throughout my YouTube endeavor, I've talked, about race. I've talked about, you know, dating with, black women. Because here's the thing, I care about the black community. I want to preface this, right? I care about good men. Within that bracket of good men, there are black men. So good black men, I care about that too. But as the umbrella, I care about all people. I really do. I don't. I want us as human beings to do well, right? I want us as human beings to do well. So, excuse me. So one of the things is that, you know, I want us as humans to do well. And one of the issues is that when I see a community failing and being their own worst enemy, well, I speak out. When I have opinions about it, I say something. Okay. So what I mean is that, what I mean is that, sorry, I'm texting a friend too. So excuse me. So I've talked about race a bunch of time. I had people calling me racist, calling me like stop talking about the black community, mind your own business, all, so on and so on. And one thing I said, I have opinion. I'm going to express it. I have an opinion. I'm going to express it. So you know, I that's what I would do. And sometimes I just, maybe my personal opinion is that I feel in a lot of cases, in a lot of cases, sorry, I should have. There's so many things going down. There's so many things going down. So I'm all over the place because I'm trying. I'm seeing if a friend of mine would come on, the live with me. Um, okay. God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. because my head is all over the place. Because a friend of mine just texted me and say that he wouldn't mind, joining the live. So I figured I I'll let him join in an hour or so. So that's just on my mind. That's getting me you know um yeah. Okay. Let me try to focus. Let me try to focus. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yes, in today's day and age, right, we are talking about more and more about race. We're It's like every week it's about race. Especially if you're on social media, it's always about race. It's all about racism. It's always about this. It's always about that, and it's tiring. It's tiring, and I honestly don't believe that America is more racist than it was 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago. I don't believe that. I really don't. But we talk about this more than ever before. And I believe it's that because of, the whole leftist, woke, Democrat mindset where we're talking about our feelings so much. We're talking about everything, right? Everything, all these social topics have to be pushed to the forefront. So one of those social topics would be race. So I don't think people are more racist than ever. I think people want to blame everything on racism. So so that's the thing where I get it gets tiring. It gets tiring to me. So I that's where you know I find it disheartening. I really do. I find it really disheartening. So in my personal opinion, I think the black community is hurting themselves. It is hurting themselves by fixating on race, but not caring to improve. So they're stuck to the past, which honestly, personal opinion, it doesn't affect their present. But because they're stuck to their past, it is affecting their present. They don't want to improve, move on, get better. They want to be victims. They want to call foul. They want to, be stuck in the past and use that as an excuse. This is the thing what I always said. My biggest thing is accountability. Accountability. And I talked about throughout when I'm talking about men and women dynamic. But when I see accountability, like lack of accountability and other things, I talk about it. I.e., this race. I think the black community lacks accountability. I believe that the black community uh, is using racism as an scapegoat for failures, any kind, any kind. Now, again, I said this to a friend that I understand the shackles of the past. I understand. I'm an American. I've done the history. I've most of my friends are black. Practically all my friends are black. I work in the black community. I live in the black community. I've dated predominantly black women. Right, my baby mom is black. So, and I'm not just saying that because of that. I know no, it's because of that I've been surrounded, right, by it, by the black community all my life. So, but I'm not saying that because I'm an expert or anything. No, but it's that I understand the struggles. I do. What I don't understand is that you are instead of persevering, right? Instead of you know, getting better, pushing past the struggles, you are living in your struggles and blaming the past for why you are struggling. Instead of holding yourself accountable and saying that it's your actions that are holding you back, not because of the past. So we'll talk about that. I have a whole bunch of videos. So tonight will be a long live. So bear with me. All right. We're going to be talking about race, talking about racism, talking about my opinions. So if you are more used to me talking about more men and women dynamics, it won't be that kind of show tonight. Because I want to change it up, right? I want to talk about race today because, as a minority myself, I as a kid I experienced racism. Well, even sometimes as an adult. So I understand that. But to be honest, racism is not going to hold me back to succeed. I won't blame how people treat me for why my life sucks or not. So, well, let's get started. Let's get started. I have a whole bunch of videos, right? That whole bunch of TikTok videos that are we're gonna be talking about it. So like I said, bear with me. If you get easily triggered about an Asian man talking about racism or the black community, you've been warned. All right, you've been warned. Or if you find talking about race boring, it is what it is. So again, like I said, I have a whole bunch of videos that I want to let's touch upon, talk about. So let's get started.
When I don't wear my bonnet. What happens when I do wear it? This first clip is the day after wash day. I have a legitimate question. A very legitimate question. Because if y'all want to protect y'all hair, that's cool. But why y'all can't take silk and satin and make a head covering in literally any other shape besides a bonnet? Why do y'all specifically have to wear a bonnet? Because you white people do realize that the only people telling y'all it's okay to wear a bonnet is the people who make and sell bonnets. And even then, that's not all of them. That's only a handful of them.
Bonnets. That you have to gatekeep. This is what I'm talking about. Why we would talk about tonight. All right, black fatigue. I'm going to expand on it. I mean, some people want to say what's the meaning of it, all this stuff, but this is what I'm talking about. This is what we'll be talking about. Black fatigue. It's tiring. It's tiring. Everything is a problem. Everything is a problem. Honestly, I believe culture should be shared. I believe it's like you have a problem with everything. Everything is a problem. That's the thing what I'm talking about. That is the fatigue. Everything's a problem. Everything is racism. Everything is like you're crossing the line between you're being racist. Okay? I had a commenter just say that, oh, what you said is racist. What did I say that was racist? They didn't tell me. They just said, you're racist. Really? It's just a word you just want to shoot out because you are angry, you're triggered by whatever. And it doesn't really prove the word.
Majority is telling y'all not to buy bonnets. Expeditiously, I need an answer to my question because there are plenty of other types of head coverings y'all can make out of silk and satin and protect your hair with it without it being a bonnet. Y'all don't have to wear bonnets.
So you're saying because they are white, they cannot wear a bonnet? They should find something else to protect their hair?
Now, I'm going to say this, right? I love the black people that stands up to it. The black people that call that shit out. Okay, we're going to have a bunch of that. And that is the amazingness, right? I'm just saying that we don't have enough. We don't have enough people calling this shit out. Stop it. Let's just live in peace. All right? Let's just live in peace. Let's not, you know what? This is what I've said. I said this to a friend. Do you realize that out there are good and bad people? Out there are people that's just dicks. That's just assholes. That's just terrible people. It don't necessarily mean that they're racist, okay? Or, they could be racist, but honestly, there's just bad people out there. But everything's racism. Everything's about race. Everything is like, stop it. It gets tiring. It gets tiring.
Let me educate you a little bit, sweetheart. Here's your answer for your question expeditiously. Bonnets have been worn since the 1800s. Bonnets is not just a cultural thing. Bonnets have been worn since Little House on the Prairie days. And matter of fact, Bonnets didn't originate from African American women. They originated from the Europeans. Yes, Europeans. So you're saying that white people can't wear bonnets, but there are white people dealing with cancer, dealing with alopecia, dealing with some type of illness, some of them. And they really need a covering, a satin bonnet for their hair to protect their hair at night. Satin scarves don't always work. Or silk scarves or whatever, they don't always work. Some people need a satin bonnet to walk out in public with a head covering on their head. Everybody don't want to wear a satin scarf or a satin covering, however you may put it. So I'm trying to figure out, so you feel as if, can Mexicans wear it? Can Puerto Ricans wear them, Latino? Or you just saying just black women should wear them? Like, I'm just trying to see. But for your answer, they're for all women. It's hair care, not race. Get you one. Links in the bio.
My black sister speaking facts. It gets tiring. It really does. Right? It gets this is the inkling of it. Everything is like triggering. Everything is triggering. It is tiring. It is just stop it.
They felt annoyed being in an elevator full of black girls. I caught her facial expression, then she ran out the elevator so fast with her dad.
Now, why would you have to go and send your boyfriend to DM me on your behalf?
I couldn't find the original picture. I mean, the original video.
Being in an elevator full of black girls. I caught her facial expression, then she ran out the...
They felt annoyed being in an elevator full of black girls. I caught her facial. Is it annoyed in an elevator full of black women, or how the camera is? She can see that you're recording her. Okay, she can see that you're recording her. This is a thing where this is the ridiculous of it. You're making someone feel uncomfortable, but yet you make it about race. You make it about race. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm sorry. I'm not here to white knight white people or try to save white people, but this is the thing where I said this. I believe this before. Where back in the day, okay, I get it. Black people were oppressed by the white people. Okay, so now that power is switching. Power is switching, right? Black people are getting more social power. Social power. They are, in essence, oppressing white people. It's like, it shows you that, you know what? If you got power, it seems like you are an oppressor. It seems like, you know what? If you were in the same position, okay? If you were in the same position as said white people, you would have been an oppressor as well. So really, isn't that power corrupts? Absolutely then. But this is the thing where you are not showing that, you know what? You are better than, right? You're not showing that you are better than let's say the white people of the past, where they were jerks, oppressive. They were, terrible people. No, you're showing that you will lower yourself to that level by scaring, by, making white people feel uncomfortable. Now, again, like I said, I'm not here to, white knight white people. No, I'm not here to save white people. No, but it's more about people, right? Why are we doing this to each other? Why are we doing this to each other? I think at this day and age, we are more free than ever before. We are more free than ever before. But yet we are worse. We are being more entitled, right? We are just being more worse to each other, and it gets tiring.
Elevator so fast with her dad.
Now, why would you have to go and send your...
She's literally, it's like, who would like to be recorded? Okay, who's liking that?
When I first seen the statue.
All right, so This is the part where we're going to talk about the statue, right? We're going to talk about a whole bunch of topics within the whole within that whole umbrella. That's why tonight will probably be a long live. This is the thing where I did this video on my TikTok where we have at a graduation whole bunch of I think a black high school or whatever. Black students graduating, awesome. But what they did, I'll show you. I'm going to show you. Please check out my what my thoughts on my more thoughts on it. But this is what I'm talking about where I think it's cool, right? I think it's cool that black people do have a culture, their culture. They want to express how they want to express. They want to express their culture how they want to express. But what I'm gonna say is that you can't want it is I said it in the video where usually graduation has more decorum, more modesty, more class, right? It's not going you're not going crazy. But it's okay if you want to be different, right? If you want to change it up, make it your own thing. Cool. That is great. But on the flip side, that if you are going to express that you are different, right? You're different than other people, right? As a culture, you are different. Guess what? If you are going to express that you are different, people are going to view you differently. People are going to treat you differently. I'm not angry that people are dancing. Whoop-de-doo. I don't care. What I was more talking about is how you represent yourself to the world on the world stage. Social media is the world stage. Everyone, the UK, Africa, I don't know, Spain, Brazil, whatever, okay, can see that. They can see you. You're represented on the world stage thanks to social media. But it seems like only black people don't care about their images. They don't care about their image. They don't care about their community image to the world stage. Most other communities do care. Most other communities do care how the world views them. Most communities do. It just seems like black people don't, which is cool. You don't have to. You don't have to care how other people view you. The problem is if you care about how people treat you, right? Then that's the problem. Because logically, if they view you differently, why wouldn't they treat you differently? So this is the thing where let's watch this.
Of the black woman in Times Square, I was like, God damn, is this how y'all see black women? Then I read the synopsis from the artist in regards to what was the thought process behind it. I'm like, well, shit, that does make sense. And after I did some time to do some self-reflection and process, I agree with the artist. I mean, she represents the average black woman. What a lot of people don't want to accept is the average black American woman living in the United States weighs 188 pounds. She looks like my neighbor. She looks like the women at the hair salon where I get my hair done. She looks like my clients. She looks like the women that I see walking up and down the streets. She looks like the very women who are on this app complaining about this statue. She is the average black woman. So the greater question that needs to be asked is, how do you want black women to be represented? You want them to look like an Instagram model with the big fat lips that is overinflated with filler, with the BBL and the fake boobs? Because that's not the average black woman. That statue represents the women that I see on a daily basis, that I interact with on a daily basis, than those IG models that are heavily filtered. And this actually speaks to a much deep-rooted issue in regards to the fallacy that a lot of black women project on the internet in regards to what is black joy, what is femininity, what is the accurate depiction. Because when I look at her, she reminds me of every single character out of a Tyler Perry movie, out of a BET TV show, out of a Tubi TV show, what I see on TikTok. So is it self-hatred? Is it self-loathing? Because what you envision in your head is not representative or showing in reality? I don't know. I don't know. People are like, oh, she's dark-skinned. I couldn't tell you, because she looks like me 24 months ago, minus the box braids. So I think a lot of people need to sit with, why do they hate the statue so much? Because there's nothing wrong with the statue. She represents the common black woman. Now, as far as confidence, she looks a little bit more indifferent. I wouldn't say confident, but like I said, she looks like every single black woman that I come encounter with. That same facial expression as well. But y'all need to kind of sit and process your emotions and stop projecting and really process why you feel the way you feel. When I first seen
Let me say this, okay? I think how she's thinking about it is sad. It's sad. We have so much in the world, right? Art. This is the problem when it comes to black art. They don't want to represent the most beautiful of their society. They don't want to create um something that is more pleasing. Here's the thing where, let's say, Greek, Roman, uh, even Chinese, uh, art of other culture. Usually, okay, you want to depict the most grandiose, the most beautiful of that culture. Because why? It is essentially immortalized. It is essentially representing your culture. You want to see beauty. You want to see beauty in it. You want to see awe and beauty. Only black people want to represent their worst, their mediocrity, their averageness, which is insane. Because in my personal opinion, black people as a community is not average. It shouldn't be. They're over the top. They are I think I've said this to our friend, where I think the black community is cool. I really do. They black community is the epitome of coolness. But you want to represent the, what is it? The 60% obesity rate in women. That's what you want to. That's what you want in Times Square for the rest of the world to see. The 60% of obesity rate in black women. That is what you want to represent. The average black woman, great. Great. That is awesome. But that is how the world will view you. Again, this is what I'm talking about, image. In the Asian community, okay? Shame is a thing. Shame is the thing. You don't want to bring shame to your community. You don't. You want you want to you want the world to see your community in the best light as possible. I'm not saying no, I'm not saying any community is perfect, but every community, or most communities, try their best to represent the best light possible to the rest of the world. Because we understand on this world stage, well, stereotypes, opinions, rumors, how people view you is a thing. Is a thing. And in a lot of people, especially black women, it is okay to represent mediocrity. It is okay to represent your averageness. It is okay to glamorize the 60% obesity rate in black women. That is what you want to showcase to the rest of the world. That is. Instead of actual top tier beautiful black women. And I said this before. I've seen a lot of beautiful black women. But what you want to represent is your average, not so good looking, obese black woman. That is what you're fine with. Yes, that is average. But here's the thing. Art, usually, sculptures and stuff like that, it usually is not necessarily representing averageness. It's representing the pinnacle of that culture. Because again, you're not seeing fat Greeks sculptures. You're not seeing fat, obese women in Chinese paintings. But it's okay for black people to represent that. I would see that as an insult. In my personal opinion, most cultures would see this as an insult. Yet black people don't. And this is the problem. They don't care about their public image. Black people do not care about their public image. It is okay. You don't have to. You don't have to. But like I said, how can you say, yo, Elk, what's up, my bro? Tonight might, I don't know if you're going to like tonight's live, right? It's going to be a little bit different. How can you expect to be treated the same when you want to be viewed differently? That never makes sense to me.
So recently I saw on Twitter that there was a statue put up in Times Square that looks exactly like me. And when I say it looks exactly like me, I mean it's built like me. I have digitals taken in those exact clothes with that exact posing. It looked like me. So I did what any sane chronically online person would do, and I lied and said it was me. And 97,000 people believe me. So imagine my shock when I get online and see people calling that statue everything but a child of God. They calling it a disgrace to the black community, calling it a mammy, terrible representation for black women. And to make matters worse, an influencer that I thought was cool made a video about it, and in the caption had said something like, God forbid black women are attractive, basically insinuating that the statue is part of some greater agenda to make black women look bad. Now, a lot of y'all may be wondering, Ziora, why do you care? The statue wasn't actually modeled after you. Well, if almost 100,000 people agreed that you look like a statue, and the entire internet is calling that statue butt fucking ugly, you would feel away too. Just 2 weeks ago, y'all were ranting and raving about how beautiful Annie was in Sinners. But today, young black women that are actually built like that are mammies? How does that make sense? Which is it? Are plus size women only worth being uplifted when there's an attractive man next to us? Because I can tell you right now, that's not the case. Those pictures I just showed you booked me my first 2 modeling jobs, which I worked last week. And within that 3-day work week, I was able to pay off my entire last semester of college. So somebody like it. When y'all go to Walmart and buy underwear, look at who's on them packages. When you go to Sephora, go and count how many plus size women that look just like that statue are on the campaigns for the makeup you buy and wear every day. As of right now, there is a good amount of representation for black women of all shades, aesthetics, and looks. We have our Marseille Martins, our Raven Lenays, our Doechis, our JTs, our Momo Boyds, our Jamie Lawsons, our Lovey Simones. So why is it that y'all feel hit when curvier young black women get to see somebody that looks like them, even in something as minuscule as a temporary statue? It's so disappointing because you don't hear us say a damn thing when we are expected to feel represented by those people that I just mentioned. When a different kind of us is being represented, that's supposed to be a win for all, right? Or does that only apply when it's in a body that you respect? Now, Anna Ren, the influencer that made the video I was talking about earlier, is Ethiopian, and I'm just now hearing that apparently she was adopted and raised by and around white people, so maybe this doesn't apply to her. But for the rest of you, I know you've heard a lot of people say, oh, would you say this to your aunties and mothers that are built like this? It's not just your aunties and mothers that are built like this. I'm built like this. At age 22, your peers, your sisters, your cousins, your classmates, we can see how you talk about people that are built like us online. We can see when you call women that look like us terrible representation for black. It's funny because so many of the complaints is that black women are so politicized when y'all assigned a political meaning to a statue of black plus size woman in a t-shirt and jeans. It's just so funny to see y'all throw other black people, especially other black women, under the bus for the validation and approval of a demographic that does not see you as a human being, no matter how attractive you are. They don't give a fuck if you look like Anok Yai or Zendaya or Anna Ren. When they look at you, they see me. They hate your black ass too. I hope we all learned something from the situation. I surely did. And what I learned is that y'all are fucking weirdos and I don't like any of you. And let me just say this, because I finished filming the video, but I have something else to say. When Alec Weck came out, and if you don't know who Alec Weck is, she was a South Sudanese trailblazer for deep dark skin models, and especially models with wider noses. When she came out, they reacted to her the exact same way y'all reacted to this statue. Look at how they treated Ari Lennox when she came out. Look at how they spoke about her features. Look at how they spoke about her nose. Y'all weren't there, but I remember how the black community tore down Lupita Nyong'o regarding her red carpet appearances when she came out with her short natural hair as is. This is the side of history y'all are on. In the future, when there is a wider range of plus size women represented and accepted and normalized, when people study how plus size women were received in society, they're gonna pull up y'all's tweets, they're gonna pull up y'all's nasty ass TikToks, they're gonna pull up the hateful ass shit you said about a statue that isn't even a real fucking person. They're gonna see how you spoke about it, and they're gonna remember how you guys thought about plus size people. And your faces are gonna be attached to that. And I hope you feel great about your decisions when that time comes. Bye. So recently I saw on Twitter.
This is a thing where I like Elk said, only the black community is fine with their obese their obese people represent their community. Other communities don't want that. We know that that's not a good representation. It's not what other communities would want to be a beacon, okay, for their community. But black people, hey, it's fine. Let's embrace our 60% of obesity rates in our culture. That's what we should do. Okay? Instead of, there are plenty of beautiful black women. But no, let's represent our worst. This is the thing where she said, "Oh, all these other women getting like chastised." But here's the thing: when the art you use is to represent in my honest opinion, the worst of you, how can other people like admire the best of you? Why isn't your art consistently modeled after the most beautiful? And then immortalized like that. Because here's the thing, like I said, Greek statues, Chinese paintings, other works of art, it usually represents the most beautiful of that culture. And I just think that this is the problem where black people don't care about their representation. They don't care about their public image. They don't. And this is what it saddens me. Right? And that's the thing. Plus size women are going to be received by the more. And that's the problem where I just think that it just adds to what I'm talking about, where why don't you care about your public image? And yet you complain about how people view you and treat you. This is the problem where only black people complain about stereotypes, yet they are fine with perpetuating it. They are fine with perpetuating. Hell, they actually promote perpetuating stereotypes. I can never understand that. In my honest opinion, I absolutely hate Asian stereotypes. I hate it when comedians make Asian jokes with that Asian voice. It is absolutely abhorrent to me. Because honestly, it's only a black eye on the community where you continue to push stereotypes. People find it funny, but I don't. Because again, it's just you are ingraining stereotypes into people's minds. And that is like really tiring. It really is.
I wasn't going to talk about black fatigue because I'm Hispanic and I feel like I shouldn't hate on another person of color or another minority. But this just left me dumbfounded, I swear to God. Seriously, y'all are doing it to yourselves at this point. Do you know what? Do you want to know what she did? She apparently is a nurse at a acute care hospital, and she was also part of one of these white hate groups. She decided to express her feelings, and this is what she said. It looked like this happened on Facebook. That's her. She lives in Illinois. Like, how can you be so non-intelligent and post this from your profile that has your full name and where you live, first of all? But this is what she said in a post about Carmelo Anthony. Wow, all of you clear specimens are excited. Just know I randomly off your kind regularly in the hospital. Simple problem solved. Enjoy. What? And she's a nurse. Of course, it seems like she lost her job for obvious reasons.
LQ are crazy. You're crazy.
So of course now she's asking for money on GoFundMe because she probably saw how much Carmelo raised and she thought, oh well, I'm one of those people that wants to take care of white people. By taking care, I mean you know what. So people are gonna donate for me. Wow, should I be scared because I'm kind of light skinned and some people tell me that I can pass for, you know, the non-melanated people. So should I, when I go to the doctor and when I go to the hospital, should I just ask for people that are my same skin tone just to be safe? I'm actually scared now. You know, I work in healthcare myself and I feel like the minority community, we have come such a long way in healthcare that there's always going to be someone like that is going to fuck it up for everybody else. I wasn't going to talk about black fatigue because
That's the thing where it is okay for the worst of us, in this case, the worst of the black community, being pushed to the forefront without nobody counteracting it, nobody talking against it, nobody fighting against it, nobody speaking up about it gets tiring. Stuff like that gets tiring. Where it's like, seriously, is that what? Let's listen to this again.
I'm Hispanic and I feel like I shouldn't hate on another person of color or another minority. But this just left me dumbfounded, I swear to God. Seriously, y'all are doing it to yourselves at this point. Do you know what? Do you want to know what she did? I wasn't going to talk about black fatigue because I'm Hispanic and I feel like I shouldn't hate on another person of color or another minority. But this just left me dumbfounded, I swear to God. See yourselves at this point. Do you know what? Do you want to know what she did? She apparently is a nurse at a acute care hospital, and she was also part of one of these white hate groups. She decided to express her feelings, and this is what she said. It looked like this happened on Facebook. That's her. She lives in Illinois. Like, how can you be so non-intelligent and post this from your...
So recently
I wasn't going to talk about black fatigue because I'm Hispanic. Your profile that has your full name and where you live, first of all. But this is what she said in a post about Carmelo Anthony. Wow, all of you clear specimens are excited. Just know I randomly off your kind regularly in the hospital. Simple problem solved. Enjoy. What? And she's a nurse. Of course, it seems like she lost her reasons. So of course now she's asking for money on GoFundMe because she probably saw how much Carmelo raised and she thought, oh well, I'm one of those people that wants to take care of white people. By taking care, I mean you know what. So people are gonna donate for me. Wow, should I be scared because I'm kind of light skinned and some people tell me that I can pass for, you know, the non-melanated people. So should I, when I go to the doctor and when I go to the hospital, should I just ask for people that are my same skin tone just to be safe? I'm actually scared now. You know, I work in healthcare myself and I feel like the minority community, we have come such a long way in healthcare But there's always gonna be someone like that is gonna fuck it up for everybody else. I wasn't gonna talk.
And that's the thing where it's funny that if black community as a whole would call it out, if white people publicly, and they call it out, would say that they would take care of black people. But you think it's logical, you think it makes sense for you to say you take care of white people. That makes sense. That makes sense. Or does it not just make you just as worse as people like that? But that's logical, right? That makes logical sense for you to say that you take care of white people, because you don't see the wrong in if a white person said they take care of black people. You don't see that wrong, or do you? Because if you see that wrong, how can you, in good conscience, in logical sense, say that pretty much the same thing? But that's okay. I don't see big time black creators, political black creators, or other, really race focused people talk about stuff like this to hold black people accountable for their actions and words. No, it's okay for the ugliness, the this to be a representation of black people, or don't even care about this being an image for the black community. You don't care. That makes sense. Again, like I said, why do you not care about your public image? It never makes sense. Then you care about how you're treated. I think there should be a bit more thought.
Sweetheart, what do you mean no?
I haven't stolen anything.
They got you on camera 3 different days taking money out of the till.
I swear to God, I will pay it back. I haven't stolen anything. I promise you.
If you hadn't stolen anything, why are you trying to pay it back?
Because that's what we discussed. I will pay it back, but I have it.
And you was on camera.
Racism has become, like Elle said, racism is a religion for people who hate white people. All it is. All it ever has been. All it will be. I honestly think racism has become a tool just to hate on people. Racism has become a tool to hate on people and to not hold yourself accountable for your actions and words. Not to hold yourself accountable, not to hold your community accountable for the actions and words. It's to take away accountability. And I've said this before. I stand, right? I'm a big proponent on accountability. A big proponent. I am 100% about accountability. So if I see a lack of it, I'm going to speak about it.
It's never happened.
You was on camera. You put
I
the
promise
basket.
I will pay it.
You put the basket on.
No, the money. I promise you.
You see you balling it up, putting it in your pants.
I promise you, I did not.
You stole every day that you've been there working.
I could just work it out, please.
That's your bag? Whose bag is that?
Mom, the black baby.
I have not did it, please. I can't do it. Can I call my mother? I swear to God, I have not did it.
This woman, no.
Can you call her for me? Is there any way somebody can pay it back for me?
You gotta think before you do things.
No.
You was right over
Because at this moment, I can understand you did it one day, but when you do it multiple days in a row, the crocodile tears ain't gonna work for me.
Okay, I understand that. I have never did this. Never.
I work with that a lot.
Never.
Anything
Anything I need, my mama give it to me. My dad'll give it.
This is the problem, right? We don't care. We don't care about the community. Why does it take an Asian man to sit here, speak up about the community? Why? Why are black creators? Because everyone, you have the ability, right? You have the ability to create your own platform. You have the ability to be a voice. You have the ability to voice your opinions. Call the shit out. Right? We are not. This is the thing where we should care about the public image of the black community. We should care how the world views the black community. 2, we should teach our children to care. This is the thing. Asian children, right? They're scared of shame. They're scared. I'm not saying there are no bad people in the Asian community. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that bro, I mean, but this is the thing where shame is a good deterrent. It's a good deterrent. It's like, this is the thing where showing face, pride, okay, all that stuff is a good thing. That's why crime in Asian countries aren't that high, because people don't want to be shamed. They want to save face. It's a big important thing. It's a big thing. So my thing is that, why don't we bring that to the black community, where they would feel shame, where they are very deterred from looking bad, okay, making their community, making their family, making their parents look bad. We don't have that in the black community, because they don't care about their public image. They don't care how the rappers, the thugs, the dealers, the whatever is the image of the black community. They don't care. And that is a detriment. That is a big detriment.
Big, overweight, just there's nothing attractive about the statue. There's nothing appeasing. It's like this monster of a black woman who's dominating. Like, y'all know what it gives? This aggressive, overpowering, masculine black woman.
Horrifying, right? Especially since that statue was made in the likeness of a woman that's still alive. And that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the disgusting commentary about that beautiful statue.
What? That statue isn't somebody. What do you mean still alive? What the hell are you talking about? And seriously, horrifying commentary. You know, this is a thing where, yes, David, I agree with that, but it's a show of status. And it's understandable, because it's usually the skinnier people, the people that are out in the field, work. It's not necessarily beauty, okay? I think being chubby people isn't a representation of beauty. Chubby people is a representation of status, of class. And that's because it's the rich who eats a lot, who indulges, who can be fat. Well, I'm pretty sure the rich aren't fat right now. It's usually, it's like such a 360, such a 180, where it's the poor that are bigger than the rich. That is insane. That is insane. Yes, you know, this is a thing where Elk said it, okay? I honestly believe that rap music has been the biggest detriment to the black community. It is literally the epitome of what I'm saying. The damaging of the black community's image. It damaged the black community's image. It gives it a black eye. And that is fine. Nobody cares. Especially not the black people. So that is sad. It really is.
First reaction to seeing that statue was, this is so fucking epic. To take the average black American woman and make her larger than life, cast her in bronze, it signified to me that your average black American woman is extraordinary by default.
Yeah, extraordinarily obese. Stop. This is why I hate about modern day community, a modern day society. Why are we glorifying the worst of our society? Why are we glorifying obesity? Why are we glorifying averageness? You know, it's like, seriously, like, it's the whole, you know what? This is the thing I hated. I hate it when it came about participation trophies. I honestly believe when participation trophies came about, that was the start of the downfall of our society. When participation trophies came about, that was the start of the downfall of our society. Participation? That deserves a trophy? To be participating. To be in attendance is a trophy. Seriously? So, average women are extraordinary. That is the thing. It's like average women are not extraordinary. 100% agree. They are average for a reason. Why are we glorifying averageness? And it's usually women. I've said this before. Women are so egotistical, right? Average women thinking that they're such amazingness. They're so beautiful. They're so extraordinary. That is insane. Utterly insane to me.
Thoughtful and inspired and heartfelt. And then I saw the commentary and I couldn't believe my eyes. You can't ignore that the loudest assholes about this statue are black. It's projecting insecurity and self-hate, frankly. I saw this one post where a woman was standing beside the statue and she said, I thought the statue was incredible. I thought she looked like me and that felt like magic. And that's the intention. It's not about respectability politics. It's not about what you want the average black woman to look like. This is what she looks like and she's perfect. So TLD.
Perfect? That's see right there, that's the insanity of it. Perfect? No, she is not perfect. She is average. It is absolutely tiring. It really is tiring. Where, I mean, come on. Stop it with that. This is the ego, right, of modern day women. Exactly. You're not perfect. And to think that being average is a sign of perfection, that is insane. Like I said, the start of the participation trophies is the downfall of our society. When this is what it creates. Average people thinking it's perfect. Thinking they're perfect. No, you're not perfect. You're average, that is fine. But we should not be glorifying averageness. It doesn't make sense. Our society, and I agree to it, should be built on extraordinary. I do not disagree that putting our best, right, showcasing our best is a sign of greatness. Showcasing our best is a sign of greatness. Only America is fine with showcasing our averageness. What the fuck is that? Seriously. That is not worth showcasing. Average people are honestly everyone. Most people. So really, that's not worth showcasing. That is 90% of people, average. So to showcase most people, there's nothing special with that. It's like, seriously, this is why it gets tiring. It really is.
The woman who called a 5-year-old a racial slur. My first impression after watching the video, a little bit of white trash. I have to be honest, the kid was 5. I have worked with 5-year-olds for the last 15 years. Absolutely everything they do is out of pocket. They're like little unhinged drunk people. Nothing they do makes sense. A 5-year-old is capable of rifling through somebody's bag and taking things that don't belong to them. Ask any kindergarten teacher. But I realize why so many people are wanting to defend this. Because Black fatigue is real. I think society as a whole is there. We are just so unbelievably fed up with the ghetto ratchet behavior, entitlement, the victimhood, that they want to praise this woman. But what she did is not praiseworthy. But also on the same hand, please remember that every day that us white people get on this app, we get called racial slurs. Every single day. So if you don't want to be called a racial slur, you also have to stop calling people racial slurs. You can't talk out of both sides of your mouth. But for the love of God, please leave the children out of it. Adults are stupid, they're gonna do stupid things. But you're a different level of stupid when you bring kids into it. Thanks for coming to my
So basically, what this woman is saying is that two things can be true at the same time. And I said this the other day when this whole situation first broke out, and then we had the panel on Monday night, where I basically said that white people are starting to get fed up, and that is the whole premise behind Black fatigue. Is that nobody wants you to continue to play victim for the rest of your life. They tired of being held accountable for things that their ancestors did. They tired of you blaming all of your failures and the things that you weren't able to accomplish on white people. They're tired of you sitting there saying that you're a victim every single day, regardless of what your circumstance is, regardless of what you've been given, regardless of all of the affirmative action, regardless of the fact that you're saying that you're the most educated, but really you're the most enrolled. They tired of you blaming your debt on the system. They tired of you saying that white men are the problem. They tired of you asking for programs, and they're tired of being held accountable for the decisions that you're making every single day.
She'll be watching her back for the rest of her life. Yeah, 'cause that's not thuggery, hidrattery, animalistic. This is why people have Black fatigue. When you act like this, it's not normal behavior. People do stupid stuff. People say stupid stuff. That's life. It's not normal to threaten to unalive people because you don't like what they're doing. But here we are. People are getting sick and tired of opening up TikTok and seeing brawls on cruise ships, brawls in the airport, like literally the most ghetto behavior. We're tired. We're tired of it. But then whining and complaining and acting like it's not your fault that you act that way. Yeah.
And so that comment proved her right. And for whatever reason, y'all think that the white people don't have eyes, that people that are not Black don't have eyes, and they can't see how ghetto a lot of this is. And then I have to pay for it because I got to go outside and then account for what you did. People are tired.
The woman who called a 5-year-old a racial slur. My first impression after watching the video.
This is the problem, right? Where Black people are not holding the community accountable. Look at this message. You my brother, you are lost. This is the second video I've seen. Ain't never seen you a day in my life, and twice on this Black fatigue thing on the wrong side. Tell your homies to fix what they fucked up when you've done cooning. And then you wonder why an Asian man is talking about this shit, not Black people. Why? This is the thing. Why is an Asian man talking about this shit? Right? Stay out of stay out of the Black community. Right? Like, don't talk about our community. This is the problem, right? Okay, fine. I don't talk about it, but you don't even talk about it. Black people don't even talk about it. Black people are not even holding other Black people accountable. They're not bringing to light the insanity, the craziness. No, they're fine with it. They're fine with it. And that is the problem. You are fine with how the world views you. You are fine with how the world views you. Yet, you're not fine with how the world treats you. This is a thing where I found it funny, okay? I saw a video of like, oh, a Black person goes to China, how they treat them. And then they say, racist. Are you stupid? Chinese get their views from social media of Black people. It is a country where there's only one race. They don't know Black people. But guess what? You don't care how you are viewed by the rest of the world. You don't care. So guess what? It's not racism. It's probably ignorance, but it's because that is how your image, your world image is. You don't care about it. You are fine with showing the worst side of your community. And then you expect people to treat you the same. I'm sorry. When you are fine with being viewed differently, it will come with people treating you differently. It's really, It's not that hard. It's really not. And you know, this is the thing where I think I think David's right. I think liberal fatigue is a greater concern. But here's the thing. I think the whole racism, right? Race. It's under the umbrella of liberal. It's under the umbrella of liberal because that is one of their talking points. Racism. So it's under that. So no, I do agree. The whole liberal fatigue is a big thing. It really is. It goes with the trans shit. It goes with the Middle Eastern stuff. I absolutely agree. But racism, race, is under that umbrella. So, we're talking about one of the offshoots of liberal fatigue. I agree. I definitely agree with the whole liberal fatigue thing because that is tiring. That is tiring. But let's listen to it again because I think, she's a white woman, but she made some valid points.
A little bit of white trash. I have to be honest, the kid was 5. I have worked with 5-year-olds for the last 15 years. Absolutely everything they do is out of pocket. They're like little unhinged drunk people. Nothing they do makes sense. A 5-year-old is capable of rifling through somebody's bag and taking things that don't belong to them. Ask any kindergarten teacher. But I realize why so many people are wanting to defend this. Because Black fatigue is real. I think society as a whole is there. We are just so unbelievably fed up with the ghetto ratchet behavior, entitlement, the victimhood, that they want to praise this woman. But what she did is not praiseworthy.
Yo, totally awesome. And this is the thing. Why I'm talking about this is I'm really against victimhood. I'm really against victimhood, and the whole racism. It encompasses a lot of topics that I have very big opinions on. Lack of accountability and victimhood. I have big opinions on those. So that's probably why I'm talking about this.
But also on the same hand, please remember that every day that us white people get on this app, we get called racial slurs. Every single day. So if you don't want to be called a racial slur, you also have to stop calling people racial slurs. You can't talk out of both sides of your mouth. But for the love of God, please leave the children out of it. Adults are stupid, they're gonna do stupid things. But you're a different level of stupid when you bring kids into it. Thanks for coming to my TED.
So basically, what this woman is saying is that two things could be true at the same time. And I said this the other day when this whole situation first broke out, and then we had the panel on Monday night, where I basically said that white people are starting to get fed up, and that is the whole premise behind Black fatigue. Is that nobody wants you to continue to play victim for the rest of your life. They tired of being held accountable for things that their ancestors did. They tired of you blaming all of your failures and the things that you weren't able to accomplish on white people. They're tired of you sitting there saying that you're a victim every single day, regardless of what your circumstance is, regardless of what you've been given, regardless of all of the affirmative action, regardless of the fact that you're saying that you're the most educated, but really you're the most enrolled. They tired of you blaming your debt on the system. They tired of you saying that white men are the problem. They tired of you asking for programs, and they're tired of being held accountable for the decisions that you're making every single day.
She'll be watching her back for the rest of her life. Yeah, 'cause that's not thuggery, hidrattery, animalistic. This is why people have Black fatigue. When you act like this, it's not normal behavior. People do stupid stuff. People say stupid stuff. That's life. It's not normal to threaten to unalive people because you don't like what they're doing. But here we are. People are getting sick and tired of opening up TikTok and seeing brawls on
David, 100%. Liberals are race-centric. They perpetuate our differences. When race is the prime motivator, this is the result. 100%. I'm sorry. I'm 40. I'm old, right? When I was young, we don't have this much talk about race. And it's like, are we getting more racist than we were in the past? I mean, like, seriously, I can't understand that. We are more free than ever and before. The people now are more free than their ancestors. And yet, they talk about race more than ever. It is tiring. That is the fatigue. Give me a minute, guys. Did you hear me now? Yeah, I guess. I'm trying to add a friend, so excuse me for. Excuse me for the technical difficulty. I've never tried to add somebody on OBS, so it's kind of weird. Okay. No, you can hear me. I'm gonna. Oh God. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to because I want to include my friend into this. So I'm going to end tonight's live, so I can. I'm going to end tonight's live. I'm sorry. I'm going to end tonight's live so I can start another live. I'm going to start another live. So if you guys could stay tuned, okay? If you guys could stand, give me a few minutes. I'm gonna start a new live because I want to include my friend into this conversation because I think it'll be fun. But I mean, you get the gist of what tonight is, so that is what it is. I'm sorry, the mix up. Oh God, I should have had this prepared. I'd never tried it before, so again, I'm sorry. All right. Hopefully, you guys will check me on the next live. Please stay tuned.